Hello and welcome to Polish National Ballet's Facebook live stream in celebration of World Ballet Day. I'm Robin Kent, I'm a soloist here at Polish National Ballet, and over the next 30 minutes I'm going to be giving you a behind the... Now, the company are currently in the middle of a run of performances of Le Bayadère, so in about 10 minutes time you're going to see a rehearsal with two of our principal dancers, Yuka Ebahara and Vladimir Yaroshenko, rehearsing the lead roles of Solar and Nikia. But before that, we're going to have a chat to Yuka and another one of our soloists here at Polish National Ballet, Carlos Martin Perez. Hi guys.
Hello.
Sorry about your name, Carlos. So to begin with, I'm going to ask you a few short, sharp questions just so our viewers can get to know you a little bit better. So first of all, where are you both from and at what age did you start dancing?
I'm from Japan and I started when I was 6 in China.
And I'm from Spain, and I started when I was 14 in Stuttgart.
Where did you train? And before Polish National Ballet, where else have you worked?
I studied China in Japan and went to ballet school in Canada, Vancouver. And I worked with Norwegian National Ballet and a few other companies in England, France, America, and Croatian National Ballet, and here in Polish National Ballet.
Well, as I said, I started in Stuttgart, and I completed there my school. I was working in Stuttgart Ballet, Dresden Ballet, K-Ballet Company in Japan, Sarasota Ballet in Florida, and then here, Polish National Ballet.
These are two very experienced dancers. And how long have you been here at Polish National Ballet?
It's my 6th season here.
And my 7th.
Thank you. So I just said we're currently in the middle of a run of performances of Le Bayadère. So Carlos, for anybody watching who doesn't know the story, could you give us a really brief summary of what it's all about?
Well, it's basically about a warrior, Solar, who is in love with this temple dancer called Nikia. But the Raja arranged a marriage him with his daughter, and when the high priest Brahmin sees Solar swearing to gods that his love to Nikia, he tells that to Raja, who arranged to kill Nikia by poisoning from a snake. And then at the moment she got bitten by the snake, she has the choice that Brahmin gives her an antidote, but she refuses as in punishment to Solar for this betrayal. And then he sees her as a ghost around when in his dreams and stuff, and basically it's like the gods put a curse on him, and then in the last moment when he finally gets married to God, the gods became weird and the temple falls down, things like, mysterious things.
It's dramatic ballet, basically. Now, Yuka, you perform both roles of Gamzatti and Nikia. How are these characters different?
Well, I enjoy both. Gamzatti as a strong and very confident woman. And Nikia, she is more modest. She's a temple dancer. But actually she's more stronger than Gamzatti, I think, because of what he explained. Like she chose to die after got bitten by a snake. She could have saved, but she chose to die if the Solar is going with Gamzatti. So she has to be like really mentally strong woman, and I love being that character on stage.
And do you have a favourite moment in either one of those characters from Le Bayadère?
I love first act, Nikia and Solar's duet, and the snake variation of Nikia before she's going to die is really beautiful music and costume and everything. I love it. But the second act is, I think, the biggest part of the ballet. All the girls coming down from these slopes. We have 4 slopes in the stage, and the arabesque goes on, and watching them, I get inspiring, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, credit to the Corps de Ballet girls in Le Bayadère. It's a really hard job. So, Carlos, you're currently rehearsing a more contemporary piece. What style do you find more demanding on your body, ballet or more contemporary ballet?
Well, I find both pretty demanding. In classic, you have to always think about stretching your feet and knees and turning out and keep soft arms and straight back and on and on. That all while you are jumping and turning. So it's pretty demanding. But on the other hand, this is something you've been doing since your childhood, or more or less from school every day. So it's pretty much in your body. Well, in modern or contemporary pieces, you have to bend your back in ways that you didn't think is possible and keep you turning and be really fluid while you keep in control of your body. So I think for me, probably contemporary is a bit more demanding because my body is not so used to it as classical dancer, which you have trained since childhood.
So, Yuka, on the day of a performance, how do you get yourself in the zone and mentally ready to take such a demanding character on stage?
I usually go home after morning rehearsal. We have usually until 2 o'clock and then ready for the show at 7. I go home and take a short nap so I'm fresh after.
And what's a typical period of rehearsal like for this? Like how many, is it months, weeks before going from studio to putting it on stage?
For Ballet, when I had the premiere of Nikia, we had more or less 3 weeks to prepare. But now it was less because it was coming back production. But today I found out that I have to dance a different partner tomorrow, so it will be interesting.
Yeah, good luck. You're a professional, so you'll be fine. So both of you have had extensive careers, as we heard about earlier. What's been your favourite role to perform from your careers?
There are many, but I loved Hippolyta and Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream by John Neumeier. It was 3 years ago. Working with Neumeier was most inspiring and challenging experience for me in my career. It was a great thing.
Well, of course, there's a lot of ballets that I love dancing, but like if I had to choose character-wise, I love doing Rothbard in Swan Lake because it's this evil man, let's say. So I like the character, but what I really enjoyed dancing was pieces where there's not a role per se, like from ballets from Van Manen and Dominic Walsh, like more modern, contemporary. This is what I enjoy the most.
Okay, I've just got 2 more questions for you. Ballet is such a consuming art form. How do you relax away from work?
I usually go home straight after rehearsal, after 6, and I cook for myself, and on the weekends I like to read and relax.
Well, I have, of course, hobbies like everyone else. I like to paint, I like to repair cars, I like to read, watch TV. Yeah, like every normal human.
Just normal stuff, right? And finally, if any aspiring dancers who might be watching, what's the one piece of advice you would give them to pursue and achieve their goals?
Don't be discouraged, like comparing to the others, so like be yourself and trust yourself.
Yeah, I would say more or less same. Don't take criticism so hard. Just enjoy and dance because you love it and not because somebody's telling you to do it.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. Yuka, I'll let you go and warm up for the rehearsal, which we'll see you in a bit. And thank you so much, Carlos, for stepping in today. So whilst Yuka goes to warm up, I'm going to give you a little bit more information about our ballet company. So the Polish National Ballet are made up of around 85 dancers, and we come from all over the world, just like any other ballet company, really. So I myself am from Great Britain, England. We have Polish dancers, obviously. We have dancers from Russia, Lithuania, Belarus, Azerbaijan, America, Australia, Japan, Korea. I want Italy. I want to say France, but I'm not too sure. I'm sorry, anybody who's watching, if I've missed you off. I've tried my best. We mainly perform here in Warsaw, but we also tour also. So in the past 2 years, we've been to New York, Washington, D.C. We've done a tour around Poland to various cities. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, we went to Den Haag in the Netherlands to perform our director, Christoph Pastor's Romeo and Juliet. So the theatre that we're currently in is the Teatr Wielki, which in English is the Grand Theatre in Warsaw, and it was completely destroyed in World War II along with the rest of Warsaw. And in 1965 it was rebuilt, and we're lucky enough today to have the largest stage in Europe, and that fact we are very proud of. So that's the performance space and the scenery docks to the side and the back of the stage. The ballet occupies the 5th floor up here at the Opera Nandove, and we're lucky enough to have 2 large studios which are both around the same size as the performance space on the stage. Not every company has that, so we're really lucky to have it. We have 2 gyms, one up here on the 5th floor and one downstairs near our dressing rooms, and the one downstairs was actually renovated last year, so unfortunately we can't show you that today, but I assure you it's very, very good. To go with those gyms and physiotherapy rooms, we have 4 physiotherapists which keep all of our bodies in check, so we're well and fit to go on stage. So just to show you a little bit more up here, we've got some notice boards. So here we have the calendar of our season. So if we're ever lost as to what week or day it is, which happens in a theatre, just come over here and see what performance you've got. We've got a few more boards down here. So here's a media board, which is full of reviews of the ballets that we've done. So we've got a variety here from magazines such as Dance Europe. We've got Sen Noce Letnie, which is Midsummer Night's Dream by John Neumeier, which Yuka was talking about earlier. We've got reviews of Christophe Pastor's Romeo and Juliet, Le Bayadere, which we're currently performing, The Tempest over here. And here is a nice interview with our director, Christophe Pastor. Here is a second media board full of reviews again, and here actually is a list of our season this year. So we've already done Romeo and Juliet in The Hague. We're currently on the Bayadere, and then you can see down here that we've got a whole program of really mixed repertoire. What I'm looking forward to is this premiere here, Chopiniana, Bolero and Chroma. So Chopiniana by Alexei Fadidechev, Bolero by Christophe Pastor, which was originally created on Dutch National Ballet, and then finally Chroma by Mr. Wayne McGregor, and we're really looking forward to that triple bill. Over here we've got casting, so that's confidential, I'm not showing you that, I'm sorry. And finally in the corridor over here we have the plan of the day, of the week. So every day starts with a ballet class between 10 and 11 a.m. and then it's followed by 3 to 6 hours of rehearsals. So generally a day will be 10 till 2 rehearsals, and then 1 hour lunch break, and then 3 till 6. For example, actually at the moment we started rehearsing our director's ballet, The Tempest, which was originally created on Dutch National Ballet. And you can see that live or online on our video demand platform if you just go to our website at theatrewilkie.pl. And also tickets, if you want to come and see us in performance, go to www.polskiballetnarodowe.pl. So, unfortunately, our director can't be with us today due to other work commitments, but we know you are watching, Christoph, so hello. We're about to go into your office because I believe there's been a note left for us. So let's go this way. So here's Claudius, who does the schedule that you just saw, which is a very hard job, and Ivona, Christoph's assistant. Hello, guys. Can we go in? Yep. Here it is, the sacred office. Oh, here it is. Oh, you know what? I've always wanted to sit in this chair, so I'm sorry, Christoph, but now's the opportunity. So here's the postcard. It says, "Hi, everyone. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you there in Warsaw for such a nice and important day for the ballet artist. My duties call me to the Joffrey Ballet, but it's amazing that I can watch you live from here. I wish you much satisfaction and joy. Love from Chicago, signed Christophe Pastor." And there you have it. Thank you, Christoph. We'll leave your office alone now and go back into the corridor. This way. So I mentioned earlier about how international a ballet company is and where we all come from as dancers, but the same applies to the technique that we learn and the ballet masters and mistresses. So here we have 4 ballet masters and mistresses, comprising of a range of nationalities. And generally we're taught in the Vaganova technique from Russia. But we do have guest teachers come and teach us more Balanchine, more British style, French style. And this year, we are lucky enough to be joined by Curtis Foley, who comes from Canada. Hi, Curtis. Hello, Rob. So, for anybody watching who doesn't know what a ballet master is or does, could you give us a brief summary of what your role in the company is?
So my day typically starts with teaching company class. Then today we went on stage, we did corrections and spacing, because right now we're in the middle of Ballet performances. And then we have meetings, we do scheduling and casting and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's very varied and it keeps us very interested.
And you mentioned about class. You teach both the men and the women here. Do you have to approach and plan those classes differently?
The short answer is no, not really. I think in this day and age, the men need to move faster and the women need to jump higher. So the differentiation between the classes, I don't think needs to be that varied. So I actually approach them very differently, and I think it gives them challenges in the own right because the other ballet masters are probably more traditional in their approach.
And what's, for you, the most rewarding thing about being a ballet master?
I think probably just the relationship with the dancers, getting to watch them progress and knowing that you're contributing to it, whether you see it on stage or in the studio. It's just seeing their growth is the most rewarding thing.
A bit like being a parent, in a way.
No, very much. I think that I'm a nanny often, and raising children, but they're often older than me.
So during your career, you've been lucky enough to travel all around the world. How does Warsaw compare to that? And has there been any good surprises from coming to Poland? Because I know a lot of people have like a preconception of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I came in with that preconception and I was so wrong. I think Poland and like Warsaw in particular is so contemporary and so cosmopolitan. I've been loving the restaurants and the culture and the people. And it's a place that I'm happy to be in.
I love it. Every time somebody comes to Warsaw, they're always surprised at how nice it is.
I've already had a friend visit and she just was in love with it. And I think that it continues to surprise people. It's great.
And then finally, what piece of repertoire from this coming season are you most looking forward to coaching the ballet dancers in?
Definitely Chroma. We just got Wayne McGregor's Chroma from the Royal Ballet, and I grew up watching it at the National Ballet, and so to be assigned that ballet is just really exciting. And then we're also choreographing, our director is doing a brand new Swan Lake for us, Christoph Pastor, and I think that's such a huge undertaking and really exciting for us to have our own, signature stamp on a big classical ballet like that. So Chroma to start, and then Swan Lake to finish.
Real contrast in pieces there. Great, thank you so much for talking to us today. And here you can see down the corridor some of our dancers warming up before rehearsal. Guys, say hi, you're live on Facebook. Hey. So now it's time for the bit which you've been waiting for, and we're going to go into the studio and see Yuka and Vladimir rehearse La Bayadere in the lead roles of Nikia and Solar. Now, as Yuka mentioned, this has been a cast change and they're performing tomorrow, so this is basically their first rehearsal. So it will really be a rehearsal, not a performance. This rehearsal is going to be taken by Valerie Mazepchuk. And yeah, I won't be speaking through it, but I will see you afterwards. Enjoy. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today here at Polish National Ballet. A big, big thank you to our friends at the Royal Opera House and Royal Ballet for inviting us to take part in this Facebook live stream. And up next on the Facebook live stream relay is the wonderful Scottish Ballet. They're an amazing company, so please go and check them out too. I hope you enjoyed seeing the rehearsal and getting a little bit more information about our company. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like our Facebook page to see more updates from us in the future. And if you've enjoyed this live stream, share it with your friends. They can watch it anytime after we finish live streaming. Just click and replay on our Facebook page. So from me and everybody here at Polish National Ballet, thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy the rest of World Ballet Day. Goodbye.